Chapter 4, Moon Rabbits. "Oh, wow," said Annie. She took a step forward. But Jack stood frozen. He wanted to get a good look at everything first. He stared at the ground. He was standing in a layer of gray dust as fine as powder. Footprints were everywhere. Jack wondered who had made them. He reached into his pack for the moon book, and to his surprise, it was as light as a feather. He found a picture of the footprints on the moon, and he read, "The moon has no rain or wind to blow the dust around. So footprints will never wear away naturally, not even in 1 billion years." "Oh man," said Jack. The moon was the stillest place he had ever been. It was as still as a picture, and its stillness would never, ever end. Jack stared at the ink-black sky. A lovely blue and white ball glowed far away. Earth. And for the first time it really hit Jack. They were in outer space. "Look!" Annie cried, laughing. She bounded past Jack, almost flying through the air. She landed on her feet, and then she jumped again. "I'm a moon rabbit," she called. Jack laughed. How did she do that? He wondered. He turned the page and read, "A person weighs less on the moon because the moon's low gravity and lack of air. If you weigh 60 pounds on Earth, you would only weigh 10 pounds on the moon." "Don't just stand there reading," Annie said, grabbing the book from Jack's gloved hand. And she tossed it into space. It flew far away. Jack started after it. He bounded up and down, boing, boing, boing. Now he felt as light as a feather. "Look," said Annie. He called out to Annie, "I'm a moon rabbit too." But where Jack's boots hit the ground, the moon dust gracefully spread into space. The book had landed on the ledge of a shallow crater. When Jack reached it, he tried to stop, but his feet slipped. He fell right over and lay on his side. He tried to stand, but he was off balance. He tried again, but the dust was just too deep, and his spacesuit was too clumsy. "Are you okay?" asked Annie. "I can't get up," said Jack. "You shouldn't been goofing off," Annie said wisely. "You goofed off first," said Jack. "Now help me up, please." Annie started toward him. "Don't fall too," said Jack. "I won't." Annie moved very slowly, and she half floated and half walked. "Give me your hand," she said. Annie grabbed Jack's hand, and she pressed her boot against him and pulled him up. "Thanks," he said. "No problem," she said. "It was easy. You're really light." "Thank goodness," said Jack. "It's impossible to get up by yourself." He picked up a moon book, and it was covered with dust, and he brushed it off. "Oh, wow, look," said Annie, and she stood at the edge of the crater. "What is it?" "A moon buggy," said Annie. The moon buggy was parked in the crater. It had 4 huge wheels. "Let's go for a ride," said Annie. "We can't," said Jack. "But we just have 2 hours of air in our tanks, remember?" "I bet we'll find the M thing faster if we take the moon buggy." Annie bounded into the crater. "But we can't drive," said Jack. "I bet I can drive this," said Annie. "It looks easy. Come on." She jumped into the driver's seat. "But you don't have a license," said Jack. "Who cares?" said Annie. "There aren't any roads on the moon, or stoplights, or policemen either." She was right, Jack thought. "Well, we'll go slow," he said, and he climbed on beside her. Annie pushed a button that labeled on. The moon buggy lurched backward. Yikes, said Annie. Step on the brakes, said Jack. Annie pressed the pedal to the floor. The buggy stopped with a jerk. Whoa, he said. It must be in reverse, said Jack. Let me study this. But before he could study anything, Annie pushed another button. The buggy tilted back. Its front wheels started to rise in the air. Get me out of here, said Jack. Annie pushed more buttons. The buggy's front wheels landed back on the ground, and the buggy leaped forward. Slower, said Jack. I can't, said Annie. I don't know how. Annie steered the buggy over the tracks on the ground. The wide wheels kept it from sinking into the deep dust. Careful, said Jack. The buggy zoomed out of the crater. Gray clouds of dust rose behind them, and they took off across the moon.